that's all behind me. Grown too strong, I don't go down easy. Living for Christ, the best I can. I'm a Jesus girl. All the way. Can you change my heart? Ooh, fall forward, up and over. If I go, it's only higher. No matter where I stand, it's always on the Lord's side. 'Cause I've been reading. Jesus girl. Jesus girl.
Hello. It is Wednesday, so it's time for the Wednesday's Word for Women show. I sure hope that your day is flipping along fantabulously. Your week, matter of fact, has been rocking this entire planet. And you know how we are going to show up in this day. We show up with joy because we know that can't nobody steal our vibe or kill our joy. Our attitude and responses and reactions is on us. And so therefore, we get to dictate what kind of day we're going to have regardless of the circumstances, the environments, and the people we have to be around, even if we don't want to be there. And also that gratitude and gratefulness that we reflect and think about always shifts our mood, gives us a little extra oomph for the day when we realize how much we have to be grateful and thankful for, even in spite of. So please have a wonderful day, guys. So I want to talk a little bit about control. I went to the movies Friday when our theaters opened here in Topeka. I am a movie buff. I love movies. I voraciously just watch and all genres, all types. And so it is a treat to me to go to the movies. I know a lot because of culture. We Netflix and chill, but I actually still like going to the movie theater. And so it was a treat, and I made it my business to be there when the doors open. I have missed it miserably. And so the movie I chose to go to was called a movie with Billy Crystal and Tiffany Haddish, and it was called Here Today. Now, I thought that was a strange mixture, you know. Billy Crystal, I look at him as old school, and Tiffany Haddish, if you know, she's new school comedic. And I just thought that whatever movie this was, I thought, oh, this has to be a good movie. It's going to be funny. I'm not going to spoil the movie if you go see it here today, but I do want to talk about one aspect of it, because I think we need to get a handle on what it actually is, and to define how we are viewing control. And so I'm not going to spoil the movie, but there's an aspect that he needed to control his environment to deal and ease the symptoms of his condition that he's suffering from. And there was a point in the movie, well, a couple of them, but there's this one that he didn't get to control the steps he took, and he got discombobulated. He went off. There was confusion. It was just a bad scene for him because he could not control his environment. Even though it's a good thing, control, we are placing, like him, control over things that we don't have control of. And so we are trying to control the wrong thing. And like Billy Crystal in this movie, when we can't, it messes up our life. It gets chaotic. We get discombobulated. We lash out, some of us. We retreat and isolate, some of us. We harm, or we reject, rather, some of us. We lose our sense of well-being is exactly what he did actually in this movie. And so I think it's important for us to understand actually control and what is it that we are exactly trying to control, because I think once we understand what we're supposed to be controlling, that then helps us to deal with those things out of our control, and we won't be getting so discombobulated out here, so broken and so disheartened and so just hopeless because of the things that are out of our control. So the definition of control is influence or direct people's behavior or the course of events. Simply put, it's to determine the behavior or supervise the running of. Determine the behavior or supervise the running of. Okay, so when you hear that, seems to me what he did actually was the perfect thing. You're trying to control, determine the behavior or supervise the running of. It's a great thing, but when we take that definition and we put it then on the people around us, on the things around us, that is when we have overstepped the bounds of control. The Bible says that we have control over ourselves. You've been given self-control, and that is the only control that you actually have control of. Listen to that definition. Now, you cannot direct someone's behavior. You can redirect, you can actually talk about, you can respond to the behavior, but you can't make anyone behave. Thinking about the parents, you tell a child it's time to go to bed. You can make that child go lay down and get in the bed, but you can't make that child go to sleep. You see, we have overstepped the bounds of control, and once you see how you don't have control, it literally destroys and wrecks the confidence, and it brings this sense of insecurity in us because we're trying to control the behavior of people and direct the course of events. Yes, I can show up and do my part, but I cannot control Sally, Sue, or Tom, Dick, and Harry's. I can't. And so what I have to do is have self-control of myself. You have control of yourself and dictate what your direction and your behavior is going to be in the thing. Yesterday, I went to the small business award events at the Capitol Plaza Hotel, and you know that I believe for most of us that was the first time we people gathered. That was the first gathering. There was social distance and all that. We took all the protocols, but I believe for most of us it was the first gathering, you know, up as a community in that sense. And so it's going along great, and you know, having a good time, and I'm on this council, and so that's why I was there. And about the third or fourth award that was given out, I started to feel a little anxious, and it wasn't even like the nervousness or whatever. It's just I kind of took in, you know, I was sitting smack dab in the middle, and I kind of took in everything. And because we haven't done this in over a year, I had the thought, I can't control this environment. And it made me a little, you know, uneasy because I couldn't control this environment, because we have been in controlled environments. We have been Zooming. We have been in uber small environments. And so to open it up, it really was, to be in that environment, it really was like totally different than what we have been used to. And so I started not to start enjoying the event. It's like, I'm ready to go. But then I thought, no. Hold on. Just because I cannot control this environment does not make this environment one that I can't enjoy. That's what we do with life. If we can't enjoy it, we don't want to be there. If we can't control it, rather, we don't want to be there. And sweetheart, boo-boo, let me tell you, you can't control everything. You are not in control of anything. What you are in control of is control of self. And if perhaps we took more ownership of that, if we focus more on that, we would start changing the environments and changing the things people see that we want to change. If we start being the change, then that will have a trickle down effect, and that which we want to change will then jump on board with the change, if that makes sense. I can't control it, but I can show up as it. And then once you see that, hopefully it will be able to influence you, because that's what control should be. It should be an influence. It's not a dictator, but it is an influence. And so how are you using the influence that you have in you? That's what makes changes, guys. That's what affects relationships. That's how you parent, and it goes well. There's less friction. That's how you relate. Once you grab a hold of that, you will be able to then focus on that which you can control, and instead of getting bogged down and distracted and discombobulated by that which you cannot control. We need to free ourselves. Now, I know there should be some things so that we can have order, so everything's not chaotic, and we have to have these controlled environments. If you're going to be in this environment, you have to X, Y, Z. I'm not talking about that. We need that, but that cannot be the determining factor of if I'm going to be cool or not, is if I can control this environment. Some of us use control actually to mask insecurities that we have within it of ourselves. And so if you feel like if you control this thing, if you have power over this thing, then this thing is going to do, or this person do or say what you want. And every single time, people are going to do what they want to do, and you're not going to be able to stop them or start them. And that's from the babies on up to the oldest senior saint that we have. And so instead of trying to control people, why don't we allow them and show them how they can control themselves, which that would then give us the results that we want. You can never control somebody into love. You can never control somebody into doing the right thing. You can set a perimeter, and you can set rules and regulations, but how many of you know that a person only is going to follow them if they so choose? It's not because you have controlled the thing. It's that these people or that thing has decided to control themselves and come under in line with that which you have set. And that is the best way to relate, to do this thing called life. Not that I am controlling you to make it. I set, though, control center. This is the XYZ, and I offer it to you. You then have the choice to then X, Y, Z. And then you have people who want to be there, who want to love you, kids who want to listen to you, kids who want to hear your input and your value, people who want what you are offering, is because you're not trying to control them and make them, force them to be and do something. That's not the way to do it. We can have control, but you can have control in a way that is not toxic. And what we do most time is we are using control either as a weapon, as a crutch, or as a mask. And that's not. Self-control is the best thing you have to offer this world, because as I see you in control of yourself, as I see you control yourself in conflict, as I see you control yourself in this whole pandemic we are in, and the culture that we live in, as I see you decide and make clear choices, clear, concise, good choices, that's what I want to emulate. Not you trying to control me. You got to do this, you got to do that. That's going to cause rebellion. That's going to cause friction. That's going to cause a rejection of that. And so we have to make sure that the control, the power, and the influence that we have is not being used in a way that is toxic. And that's all I wanted to say to us today. We want to control others, but that's actually something we can't do. But we can, though, control ourselves. That is my motto for life, for everything. Once I understood that, and I got free from trying to control. Now I still struggle, and the A-type personality, I mean, that we're not talking about that. That's just how you're wired and you're built. Thank God, love you for it. Controlling your environment, controlling who you let into your inner circle, controlling all those things. Yes, we have to wisely do, but even in that, you still can't control what a person is going to do. You know, Jesus loved them all, had 12 disciples, and Judas chose to betray him. So you just understand, just because you have the perfect environment does not mean then that somebody is still not going to betray you or do something contrary to your influence or course of events you're trying to set. So please, y'all, free ourselves. We gotta free ourselves, focusing on that which we can control, which is self-control, and that then affects those things that we can't control, but we will get to influence, we will get to lead, we will get to guide. Our input will have an effect on what others choose to do, but it is their choice. And so it's also going to be their consequences. It's also going to be my consequences. But the beauty of control is, though things are out of our control, that which we get to control, which is us, is the biggest and best thing anyway. And so if you can do that, you won. And so I just hope that you guys really take a look at, am I trying to control this to make this into something that I want? Or am I trying to influence and direct it so that they can then control whatever, this, that, and the other, trying to lead them to a better place? Is this control me masking something? Is this control that I'm trying to exert rejecting something? Is this control am I using to get something? Or is this control something I am trying to sway a person to what I want, who I want them to be? Or am I trying to be an influence to help them control themselves so that they can make the best decision? I just think we got to get this right. Now, I know that there are things you have to take control in. I'm not talking about that. Like I said, we'd have chaos and it'd be chaotic. But please, in your relationships and in your dealings, check to see what kind of control and why you want this control. And 9 times out of 10, some of the things you will see, it's more about you wanting to control a person because you want to control that outcome, versus you just want an order, and you're there to prove to be the leader, the controlling influence of it. Or do you just want them to do what you want them to do, and that's it, you know? So I hope you guys have a fantabulous day. I am praying for you guys, your biggest fan. I will see you guys not next week. I have started a new position, and so it's kind of hectic. I'm going to try to get in that. And I'll see you the following week. So you guys, though, be blessed. Always praying for you. And just know that show up as how your best self, the highest level of yourself. And as you do that, environments come up to you. You really don't have to control them so it can be conducive to you. You show up. And that brings it up to you. You don't have to control anyone. You will influence it just by your mere presence. So be blessed, guys. No Ask Pastor Payne this week. I love you guys. Have a great, fantabulous next 2 weeks. Bye-bye.